What it do, people? What it do? All right, today we're going to kind of fly. I have something to do at 8:30, so we got a hard stop. We're going to fly into this, and yeah, something that just came up a lot over the last couple of weeks, especially being at camp, is a lot of our people talked about when they get back they're going to do their thing, but they have to get their setup this type of way and that type of way. And it left me thinking a lot about the amount of people that are waiting until all the ducks are in a row to start. Gang, we are talking about starting a business, starting a project, starting your channel, growing that new course, launching that new digital product. We're talking about that. We're not talking about jumping out of an airplane. Okay, if you jump out of an airplane without a parachute, then you're going to end up with a problem. But what's happening is everybody is sitting around waiting for their project to be seemingly ready before they start. And everyone that I talk to at camp that is in that position, and we're talking maybe 30% of the people that came to camp were in this position. If you ask them, they all have a valid reason. And everybody in the LGL family, you guys know the rules around here, right? I'm gonna give you guys a chance to drop it in the comment. What is the rules around here about your excuse? Just go ahead and and there's a really fine line between an excuse and the reason. But I'm gonna go ahead and let the fam cover that. So here's what I want to bring to this thought process, and this is something that I've thought about a lot. So trust me, it's going to sound a little angry and it's going to sound a little tough love, but it's kind of important. Okay, of course the moderator comes in first. Of course the moderator comes in first with the answer. Boom. Your excuse is valid. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Right? Paul, just get the content out there. It's working for me. Let me validate this statement. And again, I might not be talking fast. You are listening slow. I have to go quick today because I have an absolute hard out, and that's hard out. Don't get it twisted. And so yeah, I just want to make sure you get this. If you're waiting until you think you have all your ducks in a row and you think that it's perfect, what happens when you release the content and nobody shows up? What happens when you release the content and the first person gives you a solid piece of feedback? Not a troll piece of feedback, but a solid piece of feedback that's really painful. Should we take a spam call real quick? Hello? Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
May I speak with Sean Boyne?
Yeah, this is Z.
Hi, yes, this is Maya Valenti. I'm calling from Sunrise Credit Service. I'm on a recorded line. This is an attempt to collect a debt. Any information obtained will be used for that purpose, and this communication is from a debt collector. Please just be advised all calls may be monitored and recorded for quality insurance. You have an outstanding balance for Spectrum. It's in the amount being $84.99. This is your final bill for Spectrum. Are
Okay.
you aware of this?
Yeah, let's take care of that. I will send you like 84,000 as soon as I get off this call. I appreciate the spam attempt. Holla back. My shit's on auto pay. You ain't fooling nobody. Come on. I love spam callers. Anyway, let me do not disturb. Yeah. I have Spectrum Business, number one, and it's on auto pay. So I love the new attempts. They're dope. Anyway, so the point is, I've seen this happen, right? And this is more so in a restaurant situation, because for the sort of organization that I used to do a lot of work for, we're called Street Grinds, and it's here in Honolulu, and we were famous for doing a night market, like ladies market style street event, where there would be, lots of food trucks, music, entertainment, like the whole 9 yards, right? And then some of those guys would turn their trucks into restaurants, and we built a pop-up restaurant facility that would allow the people who had trucks that thought they were ready to go restaurant to kind of run these tests. And some of these people came in just a little bit cocky-docky, thought they had everything on point, doing the damn thing. And then whenever they launched, line around the block, right? We're talking 300-400 people ready to go, and they weren't really ready, right? They weren't ready for the feedback. They weren't ready for the this is too salty. They weren't ready for the this is too slow. They weren't ready for this doesn't seem to match this, and they got their feelings hurt. However, had they done it in public, had they did a soft launch first, which is what you're supposed to do when you run a restaurant. You bring in your friends, your family, maybe some local media, some people that you trust, other chefs. You bring them in first, and then they got their hands on, they're touching, they're giving you that feedback. You are making those iterations, and with those iterations, you can generate a more perfected project. So some of you guys that are waiting to launch your project are going to put it out there, and it's going to flop, or you're going to get a heartfelt feedback and it's going to break you. Your brain is not going to be ready. The advantage of building in public, the advantage of doing it before you're ready, number one, you get in your reps. So when you have weird audio problems or weird video problems or whatever, the people that initially come to you will help you. They will tell you the things that you need. Hey, this is a little distracting. This is super awesome. You know where to double down. You know where to adjust yourself. That sounded weird. You know where to make adjustments, right? If you wait until it's perfect, you will be absolutely butthurt when it's not perfect. And then you're going to go into the community and scream that you had the most important stream of your life and it failed miserably, and now you feel some type of way. So it is far more important that you do it in public. It is far more important that you build it. It's far more important that you build it slow and get it right. It's far more important that you have the opportunity to iterate live. This is why, I don't know if you guys know this, please, people in the chat, one time for the folks in the chat, are you using Ecamm beta? Anybody in the chat use iOS beta or macOS beta? Do you know why these companies put out betas? The betas are designed so that you can break it before it gets in the hands of Meemaw, and Meemaw doesn't understand what these pains look like. Meemaw is going to be upset when it doesn't work the way she wants, right? Meemaw's not ready for all her photos to disappear. So this is the reason why companies like Ecamm and Apple and Adobe, even Gmail was in beta for like 12 years. You know what I'm saying? The reason why betas exist is so that they build it in public. They take that exact live feedback and put that live feedback to action so that that live feedback can then in turn be used to produce a better product. Okay? So for all of you guys that are worried, like, no, I just want to come out the gate looking like Superman, you about to come out the gate looking like Blank Man. And if you get that reference, you're old and possibly melanated. You don't want to come out the gate looking like Blank Man. So it's much better to build this joint in public, let Kin folks see what you're doing, let Kin folks give you the feedback, and iterate, and you'll be more proud of those iterations because you'll also have growth. One of the things that a growth mindset does for one is it makes you feel better about what you're doing. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, right? Well, you can't have growth if you start out the gate and everybody just tells you that it sucks, and then you feel like this baby that you're working on, you cave in too fast, right? That's why so many people start their podcast and give up right away because they started it, got their studio all good, didn't even really do the coming soon episodes, didn't give it a chance to propagate through all of the podcast aggregators and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, when nobody is nobody, they feel sad. Like I was waiting, this was going to be my big shindig, and nobody's here. But had you put out those test episodes and done those, you would have had the situation already propagated by the time the day launches. Okay? So, anybody have questions about that? Please drop them in the chat. I want to know. And again, I know this is the hardest thing, and I know it's hard to come to terms with, and it might take you a while to come with, but when you find out that it works, you will understand. But trust you me, your excuse is valid. I get it. Like everybody has an excuse, everybody has a reason. It can be all myriad sorts of things, right? It can be time, it can be, family, it can be work, it can be coworkers, it can be competitors, it could be money. Like all of those excuses are valid, 100%. I'm never going to look anybody in their face anymore and be like, your excuse is not valid. Because what happens with people's excuses, and to them, they're reasons. To the rest of us, they're excuses. Okay? So what do I mean by that? You go to the Buy More and you buy a brand new refrigerator. Okay? They tell you that the refrigerator is fitting to get delivered on October the 21st. And today you get a call and they're like, hey man, as you know, there's been something happening at the docks right now. So your refrigerator is not going to get in until the first week in November. To that person who had to call you to tell you why your refrigerator is not coming today, that is a valid reason. Something happened at the docks. It didn't make it to the store. Their delivery drivers cannot put it on the Geek Squad truck, and they cannot bring it to your house. To you, who is waiting for a new refrigerator, to you, who's living out of a styrofoam, what do you call those things? Cooler with bags of ice, to you that's possibly got your yogurt in a Yeti, it's a freaking excuse. It's not a reason. And you're pissed because you just spent $2,000 on the fridge and it ain't at your house. So then what do we immediately go to? Oh, I need a concession. All right, cool. You late. You about to take another 20% off that refrigerator. And they're like, oh, no, I can't. And it's like, listen, you better talk to the manager. I'm going to have Karen call you. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has been in this situation where you've gone to your work or your friend or your family and you had a valid, absolutely valid reason for why something didn't work out the way you wanted. But to them, all they hear is Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. It's a straight up excuse. And so there is a fine line. You know what? I'll be straight. I can't even tell you. Paul, zip it. Of course, the appliance repair guys like repair the old one. I can't even tell you, like, maybe I haven't never thought about it, or maybe I haven't put it down on wax because the problem in the military and the problem with my momentary is, excuses didn't go very far, right? In the military, we have a saying: the maximum effective range of an excuse is 0.0 feet, right? And that's because when you pick a weapon for an assignment, you go by the maximum effective range, right? So, for instance, a M16/AR-15 has a maximum effective range, and if the person is further away, then you choose a different weapon, right? If not the person, the target. Let me make that softer for your ears. If the target is farther away, you can't use an M16. You have to get a different weapon, right? And so if the target is on the fringe or the edge and you were to try to effectuate that target with an M16, it wouldn't reach. Or it starts to wobble and go down. Your accuracy is at a different clip, right? In the movies, any of my military people know this. We watch movies all the time. The stuff I see people hit with a 9mm that is out of range of a 9mm cracks me up. But that's because I know better, right? Any of you guys that probably live down south, you might know this. You know what I'm saying? Or when you see somebody like one arm in a 30-06, like they cool, we just laugh. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Yes, yes. Paul will show you how to fix it, 100%. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I wanted to talk about it, and I know if you feel leery about, doing it in public, here's what's cool about us. We have a community. We have a Discord community. You're able to jump in, right? Paul got links for you. Links is in the description. You go in the community and say, hey, guys, I need to test this out. I need to do this. And it's just better. No, here's the other thing I forgot to mention because I was so excited. If you listen to the Vaynerchucks of the world, they would tell you to to build it. The building it in public also gives you the opportunity to document the process. And one of the dope parts about documenting the process is when you go back and look at your growth, you actually can see how far you've come. When you go back and see, like, yo, this was just wild. I can't believe I put this stuff out there. It will give you that position. But if you start out already dope, let's just say you bought all of the right things, you followed all the rules, you listened to all of my advice, you got your focus, your camera, your everything is out there. 6 months later, you look at your show and all you feel like you've gotten better at is thumbnails. That might not give you the same motivation as I started from dirt and now I lurk McGurk and now I look fly. You see what I'm saying? So that's the other part of coming all the way out at the top is you take the opportunity of ruining your growth potential. So yes, it would be very, very helpful. This is super simple, but not, because you didn't really explain what you're trying to do. All right, that sounds goofy. Let me explain it. Let me do it, and then I'll show you that it's goofy. Out of the gate, automatically, without 2 cents, without you rub 2 nickels together, I can bring Zoom into Ecamm. It doesn't do anything. That's just what it is. But what are you trying to do? What is your effective process that you're trying to do? I can bring any application into Ecamm by just doing screen share, right? All right, there we go. Look, I hit screen share, press on the pencil, primary display, come down, zoom. Done. I just brought Zoom into Ecamm. What are you trying to do? Do you just want to see bubble heads? Just do that. Do you want your audience to show up in here? Just do that. Do you want the audio from Zoom to also get recorded into Ecamm while you stream it out? It still do that, but then you need a Rodecaster Pro or some other interface that will allow you to route audio channels. Ecamm is not the problem in this situation. You can bring Zoom into anything, right? All apps basically can screen share nowadays. You want what you want, you got to say what you want exactly. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you want. You know what I mean? So yeah, like if all you want to do is show up, just screen share the app. It's that simple. But if you want the audio from those people to be able to talk, then you need an audio interface, and that's out of Ecamm's hands. We don't do that. If you want your camera to show up in in Zoom, we do that automatically. Just turn on virtual camera from up here, go to output, virtual camera on. Now your virtual camera works inside of Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be asking like, what's the fastest way to make 10 grand? And I'll be like, sell cocaine, but you might end up in jail. You know what I'm saying? That's not the question you want. What's the fastest legal way to make 10 grand? That's a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. That's why people be saying Chat GPT sucks, because y'all be asking the wrong questions. So anyway, yeah, making it work in there like that. That's your audio interface. So you just, man, we having this conversation. I'm gonna pull this bus over. You just said it's my audio. Here's what I would say. I have a Scarlett 2i2 and I can't get the audio to route properly. I have a Rodecaster Pro. I can't get the audio to route properly. You know what I'm saying? Like your audio at the top of my head, without stopping, without taking a breath, I could probably name 30 audio interfaces. So you have to say what you have exactly. Otherwise, we can't help you. And technically, that's not today anyway. Loopback is trash. Throw it away. Let's start right there. Yeah. Skip loopback and get a real interface that does this. Yes, yeah, loopback is pain in the butt. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the headache. Get an interface that does it. Any Rodecaster, this Mackie DLZ, the Taxcam Mix 4, use two computers. Simply, the easiest possible way is use two computers. If you don't have two computers, bring the Zoom call in on the iPad and bring the iPad audio back into your interface using actual cables. This stuff is life. Doing it the virtual loopback way, it sounded cute on paper. It's not really cute, and it's problematic at best, and it's just different, right? When you go to adjust knobs, you can grab them really quickly. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's easier to use actual physical hardware. And you could legit just take the second computer and some sort of capture card or NDI and bring the picture and the audio back in, and it'll be flawless, and you're not fighting loopback. Loopback is, I have it. I haven't opened that thing in 2 years. It's really, it's not helpful. It's not helpful. Anyway. Oh, Paul, please give Shaka the link to Alex's video that explains it. Alex's video will explain it top to bottom, soup to nuts, and so will Tom Buck. Tom Buck and Alec both have videos that will do that right there. Yes, that is the answer. Take your old Mac, launch the call on there as well with a second dummy account and bring it in that way. And by the way, you didn't specify your audio interface. That was the last thing. Anyway, if you do those things, then trust me, way easier, less headache. It's so simple, and all you're gonna need is probably a see if I have one here. I don't have the exact right one, but you're gonna need a cable that looks like this on both ends. That's probably all you need, like literally just to bring it back in, because you can plug this from computer to computer back into the headphone socket of your computer and tell Ecamm that that's the secondary interface. Legit that simple. It's way better. If you have a Rodecaster Pro, or a Rodecaster Duo, you just plug the second computer into the second USB, and it's gravy. I mean, it's super gravy. So yeah. Anyway, gang, I have to. Oh yeah, there you go. So now you're in business. Rodecaster Pro Duo would be the best. If you need something cheaper than that, uh, send me a message on some social media, and I'll give you a list of things that are inexpensive. But trust me, Rodecaster Pro Dual is the answer. Or if you need all 4-channel, Rodecaster Pro 2. Those two are the best. The Mackie is even better, but costs a little bit extra coin. All right, gang, that's it. Sorry, gotta run. Going to be a shorty today, but I just want to tell you, like, make something today. Give yourself a challenge to drop something today. Like, no matter what. Just go out and post something. Create something. Put up a reel. Put up a video. Throw something up on YouTube that be like, hey, I just been procrastinating way too long and I just got scolded. And then give them the link to this channel. And that's your video for today. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be. Y'all got that? Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be. Put it out there. Boom. Keely, if you want to teach Shaka how to do loop back, I got you, because I don't want to teach nobody how to do that. I don't even want to teach the people at Rogue Amiga how to use loopback because it's a pain in the butt. But she has patience. No, she doesn't. She's just smarter than us. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all in the real boom. I'll see you on Instagram, Mel. I appreciate y'all. See y'all soon. Aloha no kako. Where the heck is my button?
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love